You want to make your bad time sweet? Go ahead and head over to the Sugar Shack collection. Link down below in the description box where you can get a discount on your purchase.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue and I am back for Greenleaf. So let's get right into it because it made my nerves so bad. The episode started off with Zora. Zora had packed up her little bag and was ready to leave and run into the sunset with her old man, thinking she was making good decisions and stuff. So she down at the gate trying to get the little gate man to open it up, the security to open it up. May then followed behind her in a car. I'm like, so wait a minute, did she walk? What happened? May is trying to stop Zora from leaving, and that's when Jacob and Carissa show up because they think they're picking her up to take her home. She tells them she's not going home with them. She's staying with none of them. And that's when Isaiah shows up, okay? Shows up in his car, jumps out the car with his phone. We live, y'all. We live, y'all. And Jacob is like, yeah. Y'all know, y'all little favorite little singer, he hits women, and he hit my daughter, and I don't have a problem hitting his ass back, okay? Look. Jacob was ready to put them paws on Isaiah again, regardless of whether he was doing it live or not. You out here beating my daughter, you taking my daughter away, and I'm just supposed to stand here and not do nothing? Carissa is trying to get him to calm down, trying to get him to understand that he's only going to make the situation worse with his violence and his anger issues and shit. Meanwhile, May trying to keep Zora from getting in the car, keep closing the door on her, and she's not trying to hit his shit. So Carissa gets involved. Meanwhile, Charity pulling up. Carissa tries to talk to her. She won't listen. She says, just take my phone. Please just take my phone. I won't call you. Just take my phone in case you need it. That's when Isaiah takes the phone from Zora and throws it out the fucking window. I could have broke the car window myself. It's what makes me so mad is that he is so disrespectful. Oh, lady, get away from my car. Oh, lady, all of that. How you gonna be with somebody that's disrespecting your mama and your grandmother and your daddy like that, bitch? Like, I don't give a fuck how good the D is. I don't give a fuck how much you think you in love with him. And I'm sorry for the profanity in Greenleaf, but that pissed me all the way the fuck off. How you gonna sit up there and let that little nigga in and not only control you in a way of throwing that phone out the window like you can't have a cell phone, but then to be so disrespectful to your people like that. I don't care what nobody say. I always, me and whoever I was with, I liked you regardless of whether my parents liked you or not, but don't disrespect my people. Don't fucking do it. That's my people. If I want to talk shit about them to you, that's my prerogative. But what you not about to do is talk shit about my people and disrespect them in front of their fucking face. We got a problem right then and there. So I don't like Zora for that alone. Y'all, they gonna try to keep her, but ain't no use in trying. She wants to be out there in the world fucking up her life, getting abused by some piss poor little boy. You know what I'm saying? I could see her getting on drugs and everything in the future. Like, go ahead, girl, fuck up your life. If that's what you want to do. Since you think you know better. 18 years old, ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out, ain't got no money on your own. You have nothing of your own. And you just gonna put all your eggs in a basket of an abusive little fuckboy of a boyfriend. Okay, girl, you go ahead and do that. Grace. Y'all, Grace gets old girl Coralie out of jail, and the press are all outside asking fucked up ass questions. Where are your kids? What do they think about you killing your husband? Inquiring minds want to know. They pushing her through the crowd. They get to the car, and Rochelle is there to pick them up. I don't understand what the little vibe was between Rochelle and Grace, but this whole episode, it kind of felt like Rochelle was trying to steal Grace's thunder while Grace tries to be the super saver hoe. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Rochelle says that she will try to get Coralie a visit with her children because she knows somebody at CPS. Grace is like, so who do you know at CPS? And she was like, oh, just a friend. Meanwhile, it's none of your fucking business, Grace. That's what that meant, okay? So Carissa and May hop in a car and go to Isaac's parents' house after Carissa tells Jacob to keep his violent ass out of it. Also after Carissa tells May that it's her fault because she was so hard on Zora and that she doesn't want Zora turning out like Faith. I was just like, oh girl. Oh, girl. Carissa, if you think that you somehow are going to do something magical and make your daughter not be a rebellious little bitch, girl, you are sadly mistaken. But I guess it's in your bones as a mother to try. And May was still being very supportive of her regardless of all of the mean things that she said to me. And I just kind of don't understand why you could have so much understanding when it comes to Carissa, but you don't have that same compassion and understanding for your own daughter, Grace. I have issues with maid all the damn time. So they go out in front of Isaac people's house. Nobody's there. So they just sit outside and waits for somebody to pull up. May says to Carissa, if you think that I didn't try my best to straighten Faith out, and she was like, I know, I'm sorry. I was upset. I'm still upset, but I didn't mean to say that. And I'm just like, oh, yes, you did. Yes, you did. Because everybody thinks that it's May's fault what happened to Faith. And partially it is because you refused to hear her. When she told y'all something happened to her, when her sister said something happened to her, y'all was so willing and ready to sweep that shit under the rug, as if your daughter saying something like that, even if it wasn't true, is not a sign that something is wrong and you should maybe be a little bit more attentive to what's going on with her. Instead, you swept the shit under the rug and was happy to act like it wasn't happening. And because of that, your daughter had to go ahead and do what she had to do to cope and to deal. And that was, be out here doing drugs, killing herself, and being a slut. It's how people cope, But yeah, that was partially your fault. So they grown asses, Isaiah and Zora, roll up in a car. They roll up. And Carissa runs to the window, and the way Zora wouldn't even roll the window down. What do you want? Leave me alone. Stop bothering me. Oh, girl. I wanted to yank her through the television, y'all. I wanted to yank her through the television, y'all. So Carissa begs her to listen for a minute, and then she tells her about the day she was born and how she wasn't crying or flailing. She just looked up at Carissa with those big eyes with her expectations, and that is why maybe Carissa put so many expectations on Zora, because of the one she felt as a mother. But she loves her, and she wanted her to go to college, go to school, figure out what she was passionate about, find something of her own. And for some reason, Zora thinks that she has that. I have that, Mom. What do you have? What do you have? A little boy that beats up on you? You have nothing, girl. You have nothing. You know nothing. You have nothing. All you have is emotions and hormones. That's all you have. Carissa tells Zora that this is her last chance. She is not giving her any more chances after this. After this is her mistakes, and God. And God is going to wear her ass out. Okay? And she says she'll take her chances. Meanwhile, tears are rolling down her face. So if you're upset, if this is hard for you, if you're crying, why are you doing this? You're 18 years old. You should be excited and happy about going to college. Like, that's getting away from your parents. But you don't go and move in and live and run away with some boy that's beating on you already. Girl, what are you thinking? I don't understand. And Carissa just, she was like, oh, Lord. And she just walked off. But she had a hard time walking off. And I was like, girl, just walk away. Walk away. She gonna have to learn for herself. Some people can't learn from other people's mistakes. Some people can't just fucking listen like you're trying to tell them because you know better. They know better, so they gonna do what they gonna do. All right then, girl. Live your life, okay? So Tasha has been stalking Jacob ever since they kissed, wanting to know if she did anything wrong since he hasn't been answering her. And I'm like, girl, just because y'all had a moment, do we forget that he's married? Does that all of a sudden mean that he doesn't want to be married to his wife and he wants to leave and run off with you and take over the church and y'all do it together and kick his wife out? Does that mean that because y'all had a kiss, Tasha Skanks? Explain that to me, bitch, because you still married too. Okay? You were supposed to be doing all of this for your husband, but here you are up in here bumping, private areas, not doing nothing. But when you kiss, you hunch a little bit. If it meant something to you. All right? You do all of that, but you supposed to be married waiting for your nigga. But here you are messing around with Jacob, expecting him to leave his people for you. She got so upset because he told her that was a mistake, that could never happen again. Tasha tells Jacob that, nothing ever works out for me, Jacob. Nothing ever works out for me. I liked you so much. I was just like, oh, girl. Oh, girl. She could not get herself together, y'all. She was just so upset. Oh, my God. And he was like, oh, bitch, get yourself together. Pull it together. It was one kiss. She was really doing the most over this one kiss. But you could tell that Tasha Skanks is emotionally, unstable. That's how I feel about it. She seems a tad bit emotionally unstable. So after Jacob then almost lost his shit on her, Bishop walks in. He was like, oh, they told me you was in here. It's a closed door. Since when do you just walk into people's offices? That wasn't your son's office. You must have been ear hustling on the outside of the door and heard what was going on, and that's why you wanted to pretend like you was sorry you was interrupting something. Like, get the fuck out of here with that, Bishop. I'm sorry, y'all. This episode is causing for profanity, so y'all just gonna have to live with it. You know, I'm sorry. I'm not curting myself this time. They be killing me, and they was killing me this episode. Bishop and Jacob go into Jacob's office. You know, the one that you should be able to open without knocking. Like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying, y'all? Anyway, Bishop is yelling at Jacob. He's all mad because nobody called him and told him about what was going on with Zora. And Jacob is like, look, bro, I got a lot going on right now. Too much to be trying to make you feel important, to make you feel included. I don't have time for this, daddy, okay? And Bishop is just like, look, I don't care what's going on between me and your mom. I am still your father. I am still that girl's grandfather. And you don't forget that. I'm like, nigga, you done spent this whole episode worrying about being left out. You only been out the house for 1 day. Calm down. So Tasha Skanks is packing up her office because, like she did previously, she loves to jump to conclusions and do the extreme. So you had a kiss, you thought he was gonna leave his wife. He tells you he's your boss and you need to get back in line and y'all are, not about to have no relationship. You quit your job. I'm like, oh, okay. So he goes into her office to apologize to her for how he acted and the things that he said to her, and just express that maybe he took some of his frustrations with the Zora situation out on her. And she's just like, you know what? It's okay. It's all right. Jacob, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? But I just know I have to do what's important for me. So she's packing up a box this whole time, but he never realized until she picked up the box to walk out the office that she was leaving. He was like, wait, what you doing? What you doing? She was like, I have to go, Jacob. Okay, I can't do this with you. I'm not supposed to be here. I should have left when Basie left, but I stayed. But you know what? I gotta go now. Just trust me, it's for the best. And he was trying to stop her, and she was like, no, just believe me, this is for the best. I'm sorry for everything. And he don't know what she's talking about because he has no idea that she was here to set him up the whole time. But I was like, look at Tasha Skanks doing the right thing and walking away instead of trying to steal that girl husband. Look at her. Okay, the Lord gonna bless you, Tasha Skanks. You made a good decision, sis. Walk on by. Walk on by. So y'all... He gonna aggravate me in everything he playing except for that episode of Charmed, y'all. That was him on that episode of Charmed when his son had magical powers and Prue had went and helped him get his son back because somebody had kidnapped the son because the friend had a brother who was all fucked up and robbing people and wanted to use his special powers to rob something. Y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that episode of Charmed if y'all watch the show like I do? I don't know why that shit keep popping up. But besides the closer, that's what I remember him on the most. Anyway, so D.A. Price is waiting for Grace in her office. He is disappointed that after he told her that she shouldn't take on this case with Coralie, she still decided to do so. He explains to her very eloquently and very cringeworthy. It was pissing me off by the moment. Explaining to her how people will start to look at her situation. And even though he could have pressed charges against her, he didn't. But he knows, he feels that something wasn't right and that she killed Mac. And she says it was in self-defense. And he was like, maybe, maybe not. When people think about y'all sordid past and how you were trying to get him arrested and how you went to his house and how upset you were and your allegations about your daughter. I mean, it could have seemed very much premeditated, Grace. And we could bring all of that up and how it seems as if you're a woman who thinks it's okay to kill men. And I'm just like, oh, no, you did not do that Jedi mind trick and try to switch that shit around all these years of women being used and abused and being second-rate citizens and being raped and having to tell people and wear clothes and do all kind of shit so that they don't get raped instead of teaching you fuck boy-ass men to keep your fucking hands to yourself and your dick in your pants and have self-control. Oh, now we want to act like women out here killing men. Oh, for real? Like the percentage of men that are murderers versus the women percentages that are murderers are super duper high. Get the fuck out of here. Men always do shit worse. That's y'all. Y'all kill people more. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all rape people more. Y'all steal shit more. Y'all just be all the ways out here fucking up for the most part. Okay? Not to say that women are all, good or nothing like that. Y'all know I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying I didn't like the way he brought that shit up. What he said about women killing men. Get the fuck out of here with that. I'm sorry. That really made me upset. And it made Grace upset. She was with Rochelle before he was in her office. So Rochelle was like, so she comes in the office. She's like, girl, what's going on with him? And she was like, nothing much. But she was staring into the air like she was really upset about that shit. So Coralie is having a meeting with her kids, and Grace asked Rochelle again who her friend at CPS was. And she like, oh girl, you just ain't gonna leave that alone, huh? And she explains that it's somebody she knows from the Big Sisters Club because she used to be a big sister. And she had 4 little sisters, and every once in a while, she calls on them to ask them for help on something. And then she tells Grace, I'm not what you think I am. And she was like, then what are you, Rochelle? Who are you? You know what I'm saying? Like basically pulling her card, bitch. I see that you out here ain't right. I see that you ain't right. And she like, after all I've done, I still have to prove myself to you. I'm just somebody that wants to help low people get higher. And I want to help the people that make those people low. I want to help them get low. You know what I'm saying? So to speak. She was saying something like that, but basically saying that she wants to help people that are in need and hurt the people that are in need. And Grace says that sounds a lot like revenge. Kind of like what you're trying to do right now, motherfucker. Like, I'm like, Grace, if you see the writing on the wall, girl, trust yourself. Okay? And Rochelle says that she sees it as justice. Coralie comes out, says goodbye to her kids, and says that she cannot go to jail. She will not go to jail. So that means that she's not about to take the plea deal that they offered her, because they offered her a plea deal to take 20 years. Her lawyer was a complete and utter asshole, was so upset that she needed to take time to think about whether she wanted to go on trial and possibly either go to jail for the rest of her life or get the death penalty, or if she wanted to just take 20 years and spend 20 years in jail in her life and miss all of her children growing up. Like, get the fuck out of here. That is more than a 5-second decision that you should be making. You should definitely be taking your time to think about that. He was impatient. He was entitled. He was an asshole. And when he got up to leave, I'm going to go somewhere else where my work is more appreciated. This is a thankless job. And if you think that doing a job as a public defender means that you need to be thanked on a daily basis, you need to choose another fucking career. This is not about you being appreciated, you asshole. It's about you helping people who are in fucked up situations and don't have the money or the education or know-how to help them get out of a system that is set up for them to fucking fail. Like, get out of my face with that shit. I was so mad at that, y'all. I was so mad at that. But, I guess Coralie gonna go to trial. So Charity spent the day at Percy's, his funeral home. And she was comforting people, singing and shit, talking to them, hearing them talk about their dead relatives, being a shoulder to cry on. And at the end of the day, Percy comes to her with a check. No, Percy, I don't want that. Girl, take the check, okay? And also, you got it, okay? There's a certain touch that you need to be able to do this job. And I haven't met many people who can do this. But would you think about coming on? Because it's almost time for me to go. And I need somebody to take over, and you seem like the right person. And Charity is like, oh no, what are you talking about? I don't know if I could do this on a daily basis. I don't know if I'm in a good place. I don't know if I'm strong enough to be the shoulder to all of these people on a daily basis. And he says, you're stronger than you think you are. And I'm like, you know what, Charity? The fact that you felt so much better, you looked better, you were lighter because you were there being a comfort to somebody else shows that being of service helps other people work on their shit. So I think that you should go ahead and do that, Charity. I really think that would be a great job for you. It would be your way of stepping out on your own. You could still be involved in the church. You could still be involved in, in God and singing and being a comfort to people. But then you could also have your own and not always be attached to your parents. Because I think the problem with Jacob and with Charity, and probably with Faith as well, but Faith was more like Grace and went out on her own, was that they are under their parents' shadow. When the children never have to go out and make anything for themselves, they have identity crisis. They don't know who they are or what they should be doing with their lives because everything has been handed to them. This is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're going to do with your life. We got this church. Y'all work in this church for the rest of y'all life. That's not for everybody. And Jacob and Charity both have gone through issues, I believe, because they've been coddled their whole lives. And the issues that they have, personally aren't like the issues that Grace has, because Grace was able to go out into the world and live her own life. Even for the amount of time that she did, she went out and made something on her own first. So back at the house, y'all know Sophia is being a hermit. She ain't left the house ever since she got back from the hospital, except for to run around the property. But she got a package from her boyfriend, and it's like an album of all of their pictures together, the great times they've had. I'm like, oh, y'all been together for a minute. That was cute. And then on the back, he said, I miss you. He wrote that on the picture, and she just sat there and thought about that. And I'm like, oh, girl, if you love that boy, you need to give him a call. That's fucked up. I felt bad. So Bishop gets to the compound and he can't get in. The security guard is like, bro, I'm sorry, but I gotta follow the rules for the person that live here. And so they call Lady May and they let him in, and he's like, May, where are you? And he sees her at the piano, looking all sap, playing piano, drinking alcohol, being drunk. She's like, what do you want, James? And he's like, oh, I'll tell you what I want, okay? Once again, pissed off that he's being left out of the situation with Zora, and how he's been working all day to get her back home, and that if they would have just dialed him in, he probably could have got her home. Bishop, I know you don't think that the mamas and the daddy that tried to get her to come back home, they couldn't do it, but you was going to be able to do it. Bishop, lay it down, let her go and fall in love. Stop it. Stop it, okay? I know you feeling left out, but that ain't have nothing to do with you. You weren't going to be able to fix that at all. He tells May that he's still the head of this family, and May says you are not the head of anything except your own silly self. Okay, except maybe that pile of saggy cornbread and pantyhose you gave my money to. I was like, oh, Lord, if that ain't an old lady rib, if I ever heard one. She called Rochelle, what she called her? A pile of saggy cornbread and pantyhose, y'all. I could have passed the fuck. She said, and not to mention, I am the sole proprietor, okay? I am the chef, the cook, the babysitter, the chauffeur, the pastor, and the head shrinker for all of your children. I'm so sorry that I couldn't stop doing all that I was doing today to give you the status report on your family. My bad, Bishop, my bad. May tells him if only he had waited for her to get the strength to take him back, they would have been able to be next to each other and be at each other's side and hold each other up when they was going through this today. But oh no, he had to go and be an asshole and have his ego, take precedent over his love for their relationship. And he says, look, all I'm saying is, let me know when something is going on, okay? I exist in this world, okay? I exist in this family. And she was like, oh boy, they know you exist. They know you exist, all right? He tells her that he's not in the house and she is. So he needs her help. And she said, I got sympathy for you, Bishop. And he said, sympathy? What I'm going to do with sympathy? She said, it's not a currency. It's a feeling. I said, oh, y'all two ain't done with one another. That's what all this is. Y'all are not done with one another. You wanted to have your husband by your side. And husband, you wanted to be there at her side. But y'all too busy being assholes to one another to stop with all the bullshit. See, like Bishop, this was a moment where you should have fought your case. You should have said something to her about getting back with her. You know you don't want to be out here living in Percy's house. Okay? You know you want to be back in your house, back in your bed with your wife. But you gotta bend. You have got to bend. There are men out there that feel like they never have to say they're sorry. They never have to come back and be the person to be like, oh man, I'm so sorry. You gotta do that. You do. I'm sorry, Bishop, but you're gonna have to suck it the fuck up. But y'all ain't gonna keep going back and forth hurting my spirit like this. Y'all supposed to be together. I feel like one of the kids. So Jacob gets home and Carissa is looking at Zora baby pictures and talking about how her baby is so gone. And Jacob is just sitting there like, oh my God, what the fuck we gonna do? I'm like, child, I don't know. Y'all marriage look like it's taking a hit. Y'all daughter just left. Y'all better stay strong for that little boy y'all got. We ain't seen him running around in a minute. Grace gets home and Sophia comes in and says that she doesn't want to go to Christian school. And Grace wants her to go to college and she's like, well, Zora doesn't have to go to college. I'm like, so you gonna follow behind Zora? Is that what you telling me? See, right now, Grace is too tired to argue with her, but I'd have been like, so you want to follow behind her? You want to go get with a boy that beat you? Don't have no education, go out into the world with one bag of luggage and then hope you're going to make it? That's what you want to do with your life? Because that's what you're telling me when you tell me what the fuck Zora doing. I don't give a fuck what Zora doing. You going to college. It don't have to be a Christian school, but you going to college. Like, that would have been my conversation. But you know what? Grace too tired to argue with Sophia, so she just said, understood. Understood. Get out my face. Okay? Bishop didn't sleep the whole night. And Percy tells him at least he has hindsight, you know? Because they got some people that got hindsight. They got some people that got foresight. And they got some people that ain't got neither one. So you need to be happy that you at least got one, bruh. Okay? And I think Percy was trying to tell him, go back to your woman, nigga. Okay? If you couldn't tell beforehand that you fucking up, I hope you can tell now. Go home, Bishop. Go home. That's how I feel about it. Anyway, y'all, that's my review. I hope y'all enjoyed it, bonbons. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Once again, sorry about the editing mistake on Black Ink Crew. I was editing that video at like 11 o'clock at night, so I'm so sorry, y'all. But I love y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed it nonetheless. I hope y'all enjoyed American Horror Story and Greenleaf, and I'll see y'all in the next one.